generally don't. As far as corporations, especially HBO and stuff like that, I have a big grudge with them. But the thing about it is that say the thing's right. Yeah, unfortunately, we lost all of this stuff. We lost a lot of stuff on here. And, when you look at you're saying that Aquaman, the Aquaman animated series, close enough. I wasn't that too much into it. The Ellen DeGeneres cartoon, yeah, it's good that that's gone, Infinity Train, I never got to see it. But I heard good things about it, and it's a shame on there. But, it's a situation that happens on there. Summer Camp Island, the Not Too Late Show with Elmo. That is another situation, the Not Too Elmo. And then, of course, you have Dodo, Elliot from Earth, Mao Mao, Mighty Magic Swords, OK KO, Let's Be Heroes, Uncle Grandpa. People freaked out on Uncle Grandpa. And Victor and Valentino, and a bunch of on here. And, they try to say, well, look at this. You're taking away from the people. You're taking money out of their health insurance and this, and that. It's like, let me tell you, if they are in a union, okay, not one person, multiple people feed into the health plan. Okay? If I take a couple of months off because of an illness and I can't pay my monthly on there, that doesn't mean that they're going to lose I'm going to lose my health care. Is that when I come back, I'm going to be paying a lump sum to the union, or depending on if I'm still getting paid for it all variations. They make it sound like, oh God, these people on there. This is not like what Cartoon Network did to Carrie Means, who plays Frylock on Aqua Teen Hunger Force, who was a non-union worker because he was on the East Coast. He still, to this day, ain't gotten paid for all the royalties that's due to him. That this practically put him on the streets. And the series is somewhat back, because we've seen the shorts. And are they going to do the full series? I don't know if it's a movie or something like that. It's very confusing what on there, and especially all the changes that's been going on. Now, understand, people talk about the Cartoon Network, and I know it's the fan base and stuff like that, but you also got the TBS, TNT, True TV, Turner Classic Movies, and several others. CW Network. CW Network, like I said, it's on its way out the door. It's being sold to Nexstar. Nexstar is going to take, and here's how, and let me bring this point of view on this. What we found out from the situation over at the CW is the average viewer currently on the CW is around in the 50s. And you'll laugh at that. And you're like, how is that possible? What, you got 55-year-olds, 60-year-olds watching Riverdale and stuff like that? It says no. Or there might be some. Here's the situation. When you look at the CW and you say to yourself, how can 50-year-olds be the highest viewership on the network? Well, the thing about it is the CW network doesn't only run for 2 to 3 hours a night. It runs 24 hours. When you look at the schedule over at the CW network, say, for example, it is in New York City, the CW runs on WPIX Channel 11. Okay? Now, before the primetime slot, what do you think is running on the CW network? It's local originated programming. Obviously, when you wake up in the morning, you got the news. Okay? The news is on, PIX News. By the time you about walking out the door, you got New York Living by PIX. And then when you get into the late morning, you got Couples Court, which is like, I guess it's a courtroom for couples fighting or something to that nature. The Steve Wilkos Show, if you're familiar with him. And then in the afternoon, there's some paid programming, but that changes every once in a while, because as you can see, the CW is changing on there. Daily Mail TV. And then the news start back up at 4 o'clock. And then in the early evening, we got Blackish, Young Sheldon, and many other shows that might run in that time slot in there. And especially on the weekends. On the weekends, same thing is that, you got, there's like a History of Baking, Masters of Illusion. I mean, you could go on and on. There's the SWAT TV series is running on there, which is a CBS show. They're running in syndication on there. And you look at the perspective, and the other half is paid programming. So you look at the network, and you look at their listings. What are people age groups are watching? They're watching the paid programming. They're watching stuff like Steve Wilkos and the court shows and syndicated shows that they do enjoy. For example, like Young Sheldon and stuff like that. This is why channels like MeTV and Tana TV and others are doing so well. Because they have all the classic stuff. Who is over there? The older crowd, but now the younger crowd's starting to look at that. And then you look at the CW, the way they're going is that they're going to be changing. They're going to be changing, and they're looking at sitcoms right now. And we got a story coming out on that as well. They're looking back into what made them great originally. If you go back to the old history of the the WB network and the original the way the networks used to run on the CW, they had sitcoms. They lived on the sitcoms. And I think Nexstar is looking back at that again. But that's something for later on, and we'll discuss that on another edition and see where they're going. But get back to the cartoons, the animation, and stuff like that. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize, and they're not looking. And I found this by accident. I just happened to be flipping through. I have Hulu. I pay $7 a month. I refuse to get the Disney anymore or the ESPN combo. $7 a month, good enough for me. I get anime, I get cartoons, animation, stuff like that. Some good movies every once in a while, some good shows. I get the FX stuff on there as well. Like What We Do in the Shadows. I get my Archer, which Archer has been good, a little good this season. Still got a ways to go on that. And a couple other shows on there. They do simulcast of anime, Demon Slayer, Spy X Family, and they do it in a simulcast. They do it a week to week as it's simulcast. Most of the time it hits about Sunday between 10 and 11 a.m. depending on airtime overseas, which is a good thing. That's what Netflix should be doing. Now, when you go over them, they do have hubs. They have A&E and they have Bravo, Universal Kids, and they do have a Adult Swim and Cartoon Network hub. Now you gotta ask yourself, well, what's on there? What's on this hub? I mean, there's not a lot of stuff on there, but it's a good amount. But the one thing that got me was that as people were complaining about it, Uncle Grandpa is available on Hulu. All the seasons. Okay? Over the Wall is also available. So is Mighty Magic Swords. OKKO, Let's Be Heroes. The Marvelous Misadventures is in there. We Bear Bears, Chowder, Clarence, Steven Universe, Adventure Time, Regular Show, Gumball, Ben 10. Most of their series is on there. And here's the other thing that's a little weird. And I did this when I was flipping through. Now, I did Infinity Train, looking at where it is. Now, when you look at Infinity Train, you could still get it if you pay for it, on YouTube, Google, Amazon, Vudu. Now, recently, and I've been looking at it just in case if someone's decided to pick it up. Now, they say that it's completely gone from the Warner site. Now, I've noticed this recently. This could be something older or something newer. This wasn't here before when it said watch show. If you go directly to the Hulu site and type in this, it doesn't come up the way it comes up. When you click on it, it goes to a page that literally has Infinity Train on here, but none of the episodes. Now, normally when they purge a show, they would tell you this show is no longer available on here. And I put a like on it, so at least they know that we do like this show. Is this that possibly Infinity Train could be coming to Hulu? And I checked this with a couple of other shows that are on there, and they seem to have headlines. It's a possibility that Infinity Train was on Hulu and they just didn't purge it right. But it wasn't on Google. It wasn't on the Google list before of places where you can see it. Like I said, if you go directly to the site, you need the TV watch to get to Infinity Train, but I don't have that, so I'm not going to pay $70 just to find out that it's not there or it is there. So, I mean, if you guys have the TV version update on the subscribership, do check it out. I think a lot of people are rushing to conclusions. We don't know what Warner really chose on. Yes, they're writing it as a tax write-off. What does that mean? They can't air it on broadcast television on their channel on Cartoon Network. And I think that also goes for the streaming. They can sell it to another streamer on there, or give this streamer the rights to it. They may say, listen, they might make a deal that says, listen, give me this show for this show. That's a possibility. No cash has flipped over. That's a possibility. But like I said, we need to wait. We need to be patient. We need to, see what else is going on. You've just watched a segment from our Madman Cafe show every Sunday night at 6 p.m. You can catch it over at Odyssey. Check in the description below for the link that will lead you to our Q2Cast TV site.